Hello, hello. How is everybody doing? Hopefully this is position. I didn't check my mic position. Is that working for everybody? Hi. Hi. Oh my goodness. So many people here. Hello. All right. Sabbath left us a quote, which is, "In spite of everything, I still believe people are really good at heart." That's what they're using from the Diary of Anne Frank. Good morning, Jess. Hi, Michiru. Hi, Kayla. Hi, Asra. Hi, Kitty Cat. Hi, Molly. Hi, Lemon. Hi, Lil. Hi, Melanie. Hi, Jessica. So excited to be starting this. Just got out of the first challenge last weekend, so I'm opting to join 2 instead. Perfect. Alrighty. All right. Hi, Laura. Hi, Sarah. Just got out of bed in time for this. Guess it's noon where I am. Hey, everybody has different circadian rhythms, all right? Plan to do it today. Okay, well, join us in the Discord. Hi, Amara. Hi, Megan. Hi, Stevie. We'll be listening. Good. Yeah, don't focus on the road. Focus on the road. All good. Hello, the planning ensues. Hi, Jen. Hi, Liberty. Hello, Melanie. So many people to greet. Hello, Textiles. Hi, Sarah. Attacking the 500-page challenge today with a friend. You got this. You got it. Hi, Stacy. Isn't going to join in with 1, so excited to do 2. It's all good. You can join at any time. It doesn't matter. Hi. Hi, Victoria. Oh my gosh, 50 people are here. I think that's probably the largest live stream I've had. Hi, welcome. Hi, Scarlett. How are you today? This is going to be insane, isn't it? Oh my gosh. Hi. Okay, so welcome everyone. There's probably a lot of new faces here, so brief introduction. I'm Q. Hi. I have been on the internet for a long time, but I've been on YouTube or on the BookTube side of things since like 2018, I want to say. But I created the hardest reading challenge you'll ever do last year for my birthday, which is July 7th. And the reason I created it, I just got tired of basic readathon. Not to diss any other readathons. I just felt like a lot of readathons had very similar prompts, and I wanted to do something that was like actively a challenge and really push people out of their comfort zones. And so that's actually, it was pushing me as well out of my comfort zone. Hello, West Aussie Diamond Arts and Reads. Welcome. Hi, Riley. Finding out about the challenge yesterday. Great timing. Heck yeah. Nina! Hi, Nina! I just met a guy at our garage sale, because we're having a garage sale right now, and he's going to Iceland in a moment. So he bought a suitcase from me. Woo! Yeah, so, yeah, I've been doing this. I am a writer, a reader, a dork extraordinaire. That is my thing. If you don't know me, I'm the author of the Humane Society for Creatures and Cryptids, as well as the Ashport Archives, and a bunch of short stories. Hisfacac, Humane Society for Creatures and Cryptids, is my most well-known of them. It was a SPIFBO finalist in the last round of SPIFBO. Yeah, so if that, you might recognize my book, if not me, if you're in the SPIFBO space at all. So yeah, I've been doing stuff on YouTube for a long time. I am a dog mom. My son is upstairs. His name is Paul, and he's a funny little chihuahua. He's definitely a chihuahua. Yeah, normally on these live streams we do productivity sprints, so you can come and join, and we just do sprints and have fun times and do shenanigans and hang out, and that's what we do essentially here. Today, of course, we are talking all things forget. Sorry, I'm just gonna hit my desk and make it all bumpy. So all things, all things Humane Society for Creatures and Cryptids. Now, hardest reading challenge you'll ever do. We will probably have some sprints later, because I'm probably going to go for a really long time today, since it's been a while. I just moved back into my parents' house. I'm currently in my childhood bedroom. that has been transformed many times over, but this was the room that I lived in as a young little thing. It's very small. But I'm here temporarily while getting a new job and probably moving again shortly. Things have been rocky road for me recently, but the not rocky thing is HRCYED, and this is what I love to do. I love reading challenges, and I love books in general, even though they're all in boxes. Like this is a stack of books here. There's book stack here. There's book stacks there, because I don't have any shelves right now to put them on. So yeah, hello. Can't wait to not do my recommendation until the last moment and then suffer through it. Hey, you know what, Nina? I might have some ones that you actually do like. You know? Yeah, I hope he's packing warm clothes because he's just had a snowstorm. Yeah. Paul's been good. We just went to the dog park this morning and reunited with his old friends. So he had a blast. That's why he's passed out upstairs right now. And it's actually like really hot, so I'm gonna turn on a fan. Excuse me. Turning on a fan. Okay. Hello. Can't wait for me to say it too. Yeah, I've been on a bit of a block with 2. I do know a bit more of where I'm going, but my heart isn't in it right now. So I am working on something else that I have a little bit more of an inkling, and it's a shorter book. So once I get this new project out of the way, then I'll probably be recharged enough to start on the sequel. But yeah, and of course the camera. I need to turn on the light too. Just to get the camera focusing. Yes, apparently I do. Even though I have a bright window right there. Apparently it's not enough for the camera. And that too. I've also been working on that. I've been working on a slightly different project temporarily called Ogre and Bookworm. But yeah. Yeah, it's a big thing happened. Not going to get into the details of it. Things did not work out in Ohio. Things have not worked out with my now ex-friend. But yeah, we're back in a place where people want me. Cheers. All right. Well, on that note, what I was going to start today's live stream with is kind of a walkthrough of the challenges so that I can kind of cover what I think are some of the frequently asked questions right now. So we're going to walk through the whole path of HRCYED with the website. So let me pull up the website. I love how I'm in the stream, although I'm not allowed to start planning yet because I need to read way too much stuff to finish one. I love torturing myself, apparently. We all do. In a world that is crazier and crazier, I'm so happy to have HRCYED crazy to balance and sustain me. Aw! Welcome to First Timers. This is the kindest community I follow. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I have 3.5 books to finish for HRCYED 1. I'm still not even done myself. They're sitting. There's 2 there, 3, and then the other one is in a box. But I'm hoping to find an audio, but I'm gonna have to pay a lot of money for it to get that audiobook. Because I listened to the rest of the series on audio, but for some reason, the last book doesn't exist on my library apps. It's stupid. It's so stupid. I have not got this. You know what? Remember the whole thing. The challenge was not meant to be completed. So really the people who finished it failed. Because I said in the beginning, this is not meant to be won. It is meant to be a challenge, you know? You got this. You got this. That's why HRCYED 2 is even harder, right? All right, so we're going to delve over here into the website. If you guys haven't visited the website yet, oops, hold on. There it goes. That is the website if you want to play along with me. But we have the sign-up form right here. We've had quite a few. Actually, I haven't even checked how many have signed up as of today. HRCYED 2 sign up. There's so many forms. We currently have 219 people signed up for HRCYED 2. Holy buckets, that's way more than I saw yesterday. Okay. Beautiful, wonderful, and welcome. So there's me. So yes, it starts on July 7th. Again, July 7th, and it goes the whole year. Yes, you are allowed to start at July 1st if that's better for you. I like putting it on my birthday. It's close enough to the beginning of the month. And sometimes I feel like people get really panicky at the end of a month. So it gives you a little bit more time through July 6th for people right now finishing Her Kid 1, but also for new people for 2, finishing Her Kid 2 with a little bit of extra time. So that's my birthday. Support me on Ko-fi for my birthday. Again, it is designed to be nearly impossible. There's a purpose. The name of the game is really to try. It is to try and to diversify. We have the navigations all up top here. You can visit these. Again, the sign up form is here. And of course, there is a Discord community. We currently have over 500 people in our Discord as of today. But it's not crazy. It's still not a crazy one. So, all right, let me catch up here real quick. Signing up once the live stream is over. Okay. How many did participate in one? Well, that's going to be part of the stats. We had originally, I haven't checked in a long time, over 600 signups when it first came round. We've had several drop out, and then I've had these kind of update stats throughout the year, and about 80 to 100-ish people regularly update those stats. So I would say we have around 100 active members, but then a lot of like quiet doing it on their own members. So, and you can do it however you want to do. If it's overwhelming to participate fully in the community and you just want to make it your own little challenge, that's fine. I don't care. You can do whatever you want with your reading. I don't control. That's also the main caveat. I don't control your reading. So if you want to change something for yourself that works better for you, do it. I don't care. Yeah. Hi, Maggie. Hi. Okay. Need to sign up. Just remember, you have to go sign up. We'll see. Okay, it's 219 right now. We'll see how it is at the end of the stream. All right. Honestly, don't know if I signed up or not, but I recall opening the form in the beginning. I mean, I can check for you too, Jess. You probably did. The 60-day thing for new releases, surely I can manage 3 months early instead of 2 months, right? You know, again, I don't control it. I don't control how you want to start. The official start date is July 7th, but if you need to work it around for yourself, do what you want. Do what you want. You just have to make sure if you start early, that means you end early for fairness. So whatever day you start here in June, you got to end the day before next year. Okay? Yeah. So that's essentially that. Like, as long as you keep it to the exact year and you don't give yourself extra time, because that's unfair to the rest of people, you can do whatever you want. Yes, I believe it was Libby. Let me double check. Is it Libby or is it? We've had 7 people complete the challenge, and some people have gotten their certificates. Some people did not put an email address for a certificate. So officially, we've had 7 people. So yes, Libby was the very first one to finish. I believe Sarah was the second, and Michiru was the third. So they got special certificates that give them first place, second place, third place. Everyone else's certificate will just say winner. But yeah, well done. You've not missed much. I'm just explaining the basic intro of what it is. So you've not missed much. I'm fine. Knowing the vibes of last year, I'll take the points round, and how many points we have left at the end will be a bragging point. Yeah, that's true. Alrighty, thanks Maggie for lurking. Yeah, only using points for rereads. Okay. No idea how many books I need to read to finish Her Kid 1, but I won't finish. However, I will at least finish the new releases prompt. Hell yeah. And that's, some people just take one of the prompts and go, that's my reading challenge. that is totally fine because we all read very differently. I'm an insane person whose whole life is reading. So that's different lifestyle. I don't have kids. I don't have a spouse. I have a Paul. That's what I have, you know? So it's easy for me to read a lot more than other people. Backlogging for the books I've read since last July. Yeah, do it. Do it. But do the backlog. Part of me wants to start right now, but the other part needs me to wait for the 7. I mean, more than 7. Amazing job. Hell yeah. Yeah, it's amazing job, 7. The 7 people who've done it. There's still time to get into that top 10. You have 6 books left. You can do it. And we are going to have, at the end of the month, have a HRCYED sleepover live stream where we're all scrambling to finish our books as fast as we can. So I am doing that. Hi, Devin. Kind of want to start on my birthday next week. Then it'll skew your monthly stats because what I submit June and July stats. So there's not going to be the stats surveys anymore because of how the submission forms work. So you'll be able to submit whenever at any time. So we're not going to have the monthly ones. I'm just going to be doing the data as you submit through the website. Yep. 2.5 books away. So there is I completed HRCYED. Let me give you a link. It's in the Discord as well. But if you did complete HRCYED, this is the form to state that you have. There is also a form for those who do not complete HRCYED, just so I can get all the stats. You know. Thank you. We will go over the spreadsheet in a bit as well. Kayla's got 12 books left. Really like the 7th as a start because of less end of month read. Exactly. It's both. Yay, it's my birthday, but also gives you a little extra cushion. Yeah, reading is my life. Heck yeah. Yeah. I think I need to do a certain setting to make it. But if you just let me know, if you're like, oh, I need to change this, then I'll just do it myself. And that's not a big deal. I'm happy to help with that. HRCYED gave you a reason to branch out. Yeah. Plan on starting on the 1st. Trick is to see how many submission forms I complete before the official start date. And that's okay, because I'm only going to be checking the submission forms like at the end of each month. So do whatever you want to do. Again, I'm very laid back about this. I'm not going to like constrain you guys so much because that's one of the other things I've seen in other readathons is like the constraint on certain things where I'm just like, dude, live your life. Do whatever you want to do. I've given you an idea. You can interpret it how you desire. So if you think, yeah, that works, sure, then it works. It's too big a challenge to force something down your guys' throat that way. Yeah. It's not a big deal until you're doing changes for 500 people. Well, now I have my team with Asura, and Asura has been awesome and helpful with everything. So one day there's going to be an entire office for HRCYED. A book releasing next week that I pre-ordered. I won't get it until July, so that's where I put it. Perfect. That'll do it. Wait to submit when we finish the whole square. Submit per. You can do either. Certain ones, the way the submission forms work, certain ones will have it just for the book. So like when we go into, let me get back into the website here. So if we go into the white prompts here, so each of these, so when you finish your 100-page book, you'll be able to just do that one. But other ones like this, you would do at the end because it's a full thing. These ones, there's like, as you finish the scandal, you finish the duology, etc. These ones have individuals depending on the book. So it just depends on which one you're doing. Depends on that. So yeah. Yeah, the team challenge is too much pressure. So much pressure. Just do it however you want. However you want. Okay. Well, let's look at the basic rules. So there are 2 ways to play. I do think most people want to play the point system, but in case you don't want to do points, the basics is that no DNFs. DNFs don't count. You got to finish the whole book. Okay? Rereads can be done after reading 10 new books. It used to be no rereads. But now it's, you got to read 10 new books before you're allowed to do a reread. You can double up across the board. So you can, any one book can count for 2 parts of different prompts. That is a-okay. I will allow it for the quote though, like the quote one. If you want to double up within the quote, you can do that. Just twice. So only 2 words can go in that quote. I think that's probably the only one that I'm like, yes, within the same prompt, you can double up there, just because quotes are also super long. And if there's a prompt on here that you really, really, really hate, read 5 indie self-pub books under 500 ratings, and that counts for it too. White prompts are the ones that are set in stone. Purples are now your customizable ones. And that is how it works. Okay? With the point system. No, so you can choose one or the other. You can do both if you want. But the rules for points, because the points earn you different things. If you're just playing points, then you can still redeem for the DNF stuff on here. But it is up to you how you want to do it. If you want to kind of mix and match, I don't care. But it is meant to be like, okay, you're one or the other, but you can amalgamate as you see fit. I can't wait to get Dexter off my DVR. Hello, happy to join. I'm glad you're joining us. Correct. The I don't like this prompt does not work in points mode. But again, I don't control you. So you could if you really wanted to. I'm going to say no. But yeah, you can do whatever you want. But the points and the rules are 2 separate ways to play. Should you choose them? Choose one, yeah. Starting from the books I've read since the first, because I'm participating in a big readathon right now and I'm reading like crazy. That's fine. Do what you want. Hi! It's okay. We're just going over basic rules. All over them. All right. So with our points, you can redeem points. 50 will allow you a reread instead of the read 10. I do believe getting 50 points is a lot faster than reading 10 new books. Just saying. 100 will let you count a DNF as long as you made it to the halfway point. Where did I get this scar? Oh my God. I'm like at a huge scratch on my toe. I'm fine. Everything's fine. So you track it on yourself on the spreadsheet. Yeah. So they're just able for you to do. You redeem them yourself. I put my faith in you. I trust you to do this fairly for yourself. Yeah. Use a book 3 times. Instead, you can triple up once per one book by redeeming 250. And you can short a prompt when you get to 500 points. There are different ways. So their points are from 1 to 5 points. And we can stop over at the spreadsheet and just kind of go over this as well. Because you guys can read like what they do. We have a book for a different readathon challenge. So if you're participating in other readathons throughout the month, you get a point. Finish an arc that you missed the publication date on. If it's a late arc, you get a point. Read by your least favorite means of reading, get a point. 2 points will get you is a book that ended up being a 5-star. If it's from your physical TBR that you owned prior to HRCYED 2, because I know we all have those TBRs we want to get down on. And any book that's over 500 pages long or over 20 hours on audio. If 3 points is a new release read within the release month, does not have to be part of the regular challenge. Read a book in an entire day, but it must be over 200 pages long, not a graphic novel or comic. And if you finish any duology, regardless of when you started it, as long as you finish it. 4 points is for any trilogy, that regardless of when you started it, as long as you finish it. Any self-published book is 4 points, excluding book 1. If you finish any ongoing series up to its current publication, and you can claim it multiple times, 4 points. Okay. A book by a marginalized author, BIPOC, disabled, queer, anything, basically anything that's not a cis white man, you get 5 points. Finish an arc prior to its release date, regardless of how early it is, 5 points. If you finish any series of 4 books or more, and it's a fully complete series, you get 5 points. And whenever you write a detailed review of any book you read, 5 points. Okay? So if we're to go to helpful links over here, this is the spreadsheet. It's going to make you make a copy So, oh wait, hold on. Let me open it up too. I'll just open mine because I had mine open. We're going to go to the points tracker, or we'll just go to the introduction. Share this tab. All right, so this is the spreadsheet. Oh, hold on. There's been some questions. 1 second. Let me come back here and answer some questions. Concerning the place and top, is it something we can do once and that's it, or do you read 10 books and replace 2? Correct. You can do it as many times as you want. Yep. I can count a non-HRCYED book for points. Correct. Any book you read, regardless if it's for HRCYED, gets you points because reading should be rewarded. Yes, you can go into point debt. You absolutely can. Hopefully you don't, but you can. And save your points for DNF since I tend to DNF a lot. That's a good point. Yep. Yep. Save points to triple. Are these points rules exclusive from the related challenges? Yes, they are exclusive from it. Do you have to post the review publicly to count? If you can just do your own reading journal, that's fine. If you don't like having a public thing, if it is like a self-published book, though, I would recommend doing that because it does. As an indie author, I'm like, that really helps. It's a great way to do that. But if you're uncomfortable with sharing your full thoughts to the rest of the world, it is okay. But you can do it in your own reading journal or something. That's fine. Yeah. Does that mean white female accounts are marginalized? Not really. It can, but I would say no. But yeah, women do tend to be in a marginalized part in publishing, but less so. I would prefer people to read it a little bit more with BIPOC, but a cis white female who is disabled would count, or a cis white female who is queer would count. So, yeah. You don't have to leave spoilers. I would just say just write your full thoughts on it. I would say like a couple sentences is detailed enough for this. Just not like only leaving a star rating or just saying it's a book, you know? Yeah, I would say, 2 to 3 sentences. That's good enough for me. That would count in my book. Already been filling in potential reads. Good. Would a white male cis author who is pursued for persecuted for political reasons with all his books banned count as marginalized? No. It doesn't make them a marginalized person. They're getting canceled. Marginalized in general means like if they are someone who faces regular discrimination or oppression because of their look, because of their orientations and physical ability. So being persecuted for your political reasons or whatever, it's not a marginalized community. That's what they have to be part of, that kind of marginalized community to make it work. If a book is in a duology, do you get points for the duology and count towards the staircase challenge? Yes, you absolutely can. For the series staircase, so if you have started and finished that duology, and then finishing that duology still gets you those points in the point tracker. So they're not exclusive, but they're also not mutually exclusive. Is that what I'm talking about? So yes, you can get points for anything. But if you do another duology, but you didn't put it in the series staircase, you still get points for it. Yeah. Yes, because transgender would count. That is a marginalized person. Absolutely. They are not cis. Yeah, there's so many. Oh, thank you, Carrie, for the donation. Thank you. And thank you. Oh my gosh, thank you guys. Thank you. Randy as well. I was going to go over that too. On my coffee shop, there is merch now. Okay, so let's get into this a little bit. So with our points calculator, I've done some basic ones. So you're going to fill in whatever book. Let's put, oh, look, it's Hispanic. And like, oh, you read it for whatever. It's not an R. You read it physically because you don't like it. It was a 5-star book. Woo, it's physical. It's over 500 pages long. And you did all these. So you're just going to click along the way. This is going to calculate your points and this is going to calculate your total points. This is your threshold for whatever you want to do. And every time you redeem points, let me make this a little bit bigger. Every time you redeem points, this will tell you unused. So if like I want to use a reread, I'm just going to click 1 and it's going to recalculate for you. So now you only have 63 points. So you're allowed, you could still do one more DNF or one more reread, but you wouldn't have enough to to redeem any of the others. But if you got more points, let's just say you got that, la 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 la. Now I have enough for a DNF. Boom, it's gonna recalculate. Okay. You can also, if you want to track the book and how much you got it for, you know, you can do that here, however you want to do. So this will fully calculate your standing. But yes, if you decide, oh, I'm using this, now you're in point debt. So it will tell you, uh-oh, you gotta get 237 more points before you can do anything else. So, yeah. I have to give so much credit to Asura for this part of the spreadsheet because I thought I knew how to do this and it wasn't working, and Asura saved me so many times. So everybody, big round of applause for Asura. Yeah. Hell yeah. So yes, this part of the spreadsheet, you will be able to do all the things. So all of these guys here, they calculate differently. So each color is a different point value that will total it. Okay. Beautiful. The bingo board is right in the beginning. You can click on it. And I have it clicked right here just for show. Click on that from the bingo board so you don't have to like scroll through everything. You can also just use this bar here to get to the prompt you need, but the bingo board will take you to wherever you need to go. Okay. And then as you fill them in, it will fill them in green once you complete them. Okay. You have a basic tracker. This is just basic stuff here. If you decide to use it, you can fill in how much so that it will fill into the stats page and it'll show you your reading stats. You are welcome to use this as your general stat or general reading tracker. Doesn't have to be part of HRCYED to use this. Use it whatever you want to do. We have your month. You can do prompts. You don't have to fill that part in. How many points it earned you, the rating, your genre, your status, intended audience, the format, means, read, series title, where you're at in the series, when you got it, when it released, publisher, the cover color, the country, the state if it's a US one. If it's on a non-Earth setting, you can do that. How much you've made for it, when you started and finished, and then how long it took you to read. This will automatically calculate. You don't have to use, if you don't want to use something, just right click and hide the column. I didn't hit click right there. There we go. Hide column. You can do that and it'll go away. You don't have to worry about it, and then it won't mess up anything in the stats either. The stats will create stuff. It'll tell you how many books you've read, how many pages you read, hours, how much money you've spent, the average day, average rating, average pages, average hours, your total points, most common acquisition year, it'll tell you, total that are out of this world, and the month you read the most books. And then it'll calculate all this glorious stuff. Feel free to change the colors however you see fit. Okay, let me come back over here just to some of our stuff here. Over here. We will go over this prompt in a moment. We will indeed. You can play Debt Simulator. Can I count Kickstarter books as new releases even though they probably won't release till 2026? Yes. As long as if you read it early or something, yes. You can count it. Basically, you can count it towards that release. I would say it's harder with Kickstarter because Kickstarter books, sometimes they release before you get your book copy, and so the release dates come back, so you can kind of do a little backtracking with it. It's going to be dependent on the Kickstarter itself. But yeah, you can use Kickstarter. Good. Everybody cheering on Asura as well. Good. What counts as Earth, Air, and Avatar? Yes. I'm going to go through every single prompt here on the live stream. Yes. Yep. Absolutely. All right. Oh my God, we have 80 people watching. That's holy shit. Hi. Everyone's perceiving me. Oh God. Order of books on the tracker needs to match the order of the points on the calculator. Correct. Wait, order of books on the tracker or the points calendar. You don't have to. It won't affect you in any way. You can put these in any order. But for me, like I fill out my trackers as soon as I finish a book, so it ends up in order, but it will not affect any of the stuff if it's out of order, because these to the tracker and the points calculator do not link. Only the tracker and the stats links. So you're fine. I was in the wrong channel. Whoops. Yeah. All right, 70, have a good one. Yes, this will be fully available for everyone to watch whenever you want. And maybe later I'll try to put some timestamps in just so you can navigate to where you have questions. Yeah. HRCYED newbie, welcome. All right. Reading for the Faded Fantasy Anthology Competition. That sounds fun. Okay. So now we've gone over the points calculator and stuff. We will go over prompts. Let's go over some prompts. We're going to go back to the website here, just for ease of stuff here. Yeah, you could make it copy in. I didn't do it on purpose because I didn't want to mess anybody up if you did do it out of order. So if an author uses something like Podium for their audiobook, the digital physical is independent. Does it count as self-published? I don't know what Podium is, so I would say yes if theirs is independent and self-published. So like my friend Ian, he has an audiobook through Tantor, but he is still a self-published author. Because yes, so I would say yes then, probably. Absolutely. Doesn't really matter how you consume the book, they're still that type of author. Oh, I'm gonna be talking so much. Okay, cool. So the very first one is by the hundreds. This is your page count. So basically any book between, for the first one, 100 to 199 pages can count for this one. Then 200 to 299 pages, 300 to 399, 400 to 499, so on and so forth. Okay? Probably one of the easiest ones to do, except for getting up to that 700. It can be 700 and above. Are there any questions about by the hundreds? Okay. Everybody hydrate. Hi, Addicted to Books. How you doing? They are customizable, not optional. Unless you're doing the read 5 books instead. If you don't want to do that one, you can read the 5 self-pub under 500 ratings instead. But they are all customizable. Yeah. All right. If there are no questions on by the hundreds, it's probably one of the simplest ones to grasp, I think. We'll move on to as many as you can in 24 hours. Last time in HRCYED, we did read 3 books in 24 hours, and one of them had to be 300 pages or more. I just want you to see how much you can read. Yes, I believe I did, right? About the Podium? Yes. Yes, I did, Dasma. Thank you for checking in, though. Pro tip, don't leave your 500-page books for last. Knock them out, y'all. So with this one, it does not matter what kind of book they are. I just want to see how much you can read in 24 hours. It means that there are not strict rules. So right now we're going through white prompts, which they have stricter rules. Customizable ones, because of the nature of them, we'll get into it. The number of books will depend on you, not what I'm giving you, basically. Does that make sense? Yes, I do. I personally use Goodreads. You can use whatever you want for your page count. If you're going to use the actual page count or what Goodreads says or what Storygraph says, doesn't matter. You can use it for whatever you want. Yes, so individuals and books or stories can count in an anthology, but you can also count that anthology as a full book as well. you're allowed to do either one, because some people just read certain stories from anthologies. If you read the whole anthology, though, that absolutely can count for both page count and for your 24 hours. You can count them as individual books for the 24 hours. I realized halfway through explaining that you were probably talking about the 24-hour challenge. So yes, if you read an anthology, you can count each of those stories as an individual, or you can count it as one. It's up to you and how you want to interpret anthologies. Need to move over here a little bit. So yeah, this one's just read as much as you can. Read as much as you can. Cool. If for some reason, when you go to the submission form, so this is what the submission form looks like for it. Put your username, how many books you completed, write it numerically, and then what books, you're going to write it just as all the books right here. Write them all in that little guy. Okay? Cool. Cool. All right. Any other questions on the 24-hour challenge? Let me know. Oh my goodness. This is so much, but it's so fun. Yeah. Oh, somebody's coming. Hello? Hello, baby boy. Hello. It is a Paul. Did you want to say hi? No, for the 24 hours, it does not count. Oh, so you want to go up? Go up in the bed? Go take a nap? Good moon? Go up? Up. There you go. Big man. Paul's here. Go take a nap on the bed, huh? You can lay down. What are we doing? What are we doing? What are we thinking? It's my chihuahua. He's a chihuahua. Okay. So, oh yes, that's a good question for the 24 hours. What the thing is, it doesn't not have to be full 24. What it is from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to bed for the night. That's your 24-hour slot. So however much you can read in one real big sitting. You can obviously take breaks in that time, but it's start from when you wake up to when, okay, that's it for the day. That's all I can do. Are you trying to go out again? What do you want to do? What do you want to do? Go out? Hold on. You got to back up. You got to back up? You got to back up? I know, because there's not a lot of room in here, bud. Don't steal. Up, give me my shoe. Give me my shoe. Give me my shoe. No. Shoe thief. We're fine. He's a shoe thief. Okay. All right. Okay. My life is chaos. He already buried one of my shoes in the garden as soon as we got here. Like day 2 of getting back here, my shoe was in the garden. What a brat. Okay, anyway. This is how live streams go for me. They're very chaotic, everybody. Exactly. Yes. It's the reset as soon as you go to sleep. Now you can take a nap. That's fine. A midday nap, that's fine. I don't care. But it's when you're like, I'm going to sleep, and when I wake up, it is the new day. That's how it works. Alrighty. Treat myself with new shoes. Yeah, that's how it is. That's what it is, exactly. Okay. Moving on to the series Staircase. We have any standalone. As long as you, at the time of you reading it, you're like, this is a standalone, and there is no inclination that this is part of a series, it's a standalone account. The duology, these are all start and finished. Okay? So you start a duology and you finish the duology. You start a trilogy and you finish the trilogy. The 4-book is the only one that does not necessarily have to be that way. It can be a start and finish a 4-book series, or it can be, as long as there are 4 unread books left in that series for you, you can use those for that. So if you've read the first book in a 5-book series, but not the other 4, you can read those 4 and that will count. Or if you're reading a giant series like Discworld or something, and there's 4 books you haven't read in that giant series, that can count. Okay? Paul the Shoe Chihuahua is the type of crazy I like. That's him. They do not have to be read in the same format for the 24 hours. No. So yeah, you can alternate between physical, audio, ebook, graphic novel, manga, comic, whatever you want to do. You're just reading as much as you can. All the books need to be started and finished during the year. Yes. Yes. Whatever books, unless you're like, if you've started a book and you've read like 10 pages of it on July 6th, you can count that for HRCYED. That's fine. As long as the majority of it is read during HRCYED, that's fine. Yes. Reading. I am too. I am too. I'm like, I might use Temeraire for this or some other stuff. Like, I've definitely got some long series I'm in the middle of. I got here Witchy Witchy I could do for it. Like, yeah, I've got a bunch. Prequels, sequels, and side books count. I would say prequels, obviously sequels do, yes. Prequels, yes, they can. But if it's like a trilogy and then there's a prequel, but you only want to count it as a trilogy, that's fine. If you want a trilogy with a prequel, so like if you're reading Hunger Games and then you read Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes and then you also read Sunrise on the Reaping or something, that would be fine for the 4-book series. So like you've read Hunger Games, but you haven't read Catching Fire and Mockingjay, Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, and Sunrise on the Reaping. Those 4 they could count. I would allow that. I would say if it's like a 1.5 little mini novella or side short story, those don't count. But the main canon, I would say. Woo! Hi, Jazz! Ah, cameras and criminals, here I come! So the series does not have to be complete for that 4-book one. I would even say if you really, really, really wanted to, and if you were really struggling to find the trilogies and duologies and stuff, if it's going to be a trilogy, but only 2 books are out, you can count that as your duology. If you're really struggling for it. And same with the trilogy, if only 3 books are out, that's fine. You could count that as your trilogy. 3 books and a short story collection for a 4-book series. I would say if the short story collection kind of matches the size of the others. Use your best judgment. Again, I'm not going to police you. If you think that counts, that collection counts, go for it. You do not have to complete the big series. You just have to read 4 more in that series. So if it's like, yeah, like Discworld, you don't have to read the entirety of Discworld, just 4 of them in it. That's fine. Yes, there can be more books that aren't published yet, so not a completed series, but just 4 books in series. Yes. As long as you can get to those, at least 4, then you're okay. Yes, these ones you have to start. When it's the point system, though, the points you could have already started, that's fine. You still get points for them regardless of when you started. For this specific prompt, it's a start and finish. Yeah. Karen said, say 12 of the giant series that work for a quadrilogy. Like, I haven't read any 12, but yes, that would count. Absolutely, it counts. Just reading 4 of it is fine. Currently reading a 41-book series, so I might knock quadrilogy out. And you can also, I would say, if you're reading a series that is that long, you could use 2 of the books as the duology, 3 of the books as the trilogy, and 4 of the books as the quadrilogy, because that's a massive undertaking anyway, and that's the spirit of this, is completing those things, getting to the finish line. So you could even do that. I won't be mad. Yeah. Yes, the points start on July 7th as well. If I read a standalone that was confirmed as standalone timeless later equals math, that is okay. Because to the best of your knowledge, when you read it, it was a standalone. You can't control those outside forces? Yes. Yes. Can a trilogy that is a sequel trilogy count as a trilogy if you don't count the first series? Yes. So like, for example, for this with Mistborn, so you could read the first 3 as a trilogy, and then you could read Wax and Wane, which is a quadrilogy. But that kind of like era situation. Are you coming back to steal more shoes? Hi. Yes. Standalones are a lie. Are you actually going to go to bed there? Okay. Just to look at HRCYED recommendations, yes. And also thank you to Asura. There is a Storygraph challenge that Asura put together because I'm not on Storygraph. Storygraph scares me. So, yeah. You gonna go to bed? You gonna take a nap? Okay. Okay. I hope that answered all of the series Stairway questions. Again, you are welcome to ask them anytime. All right, next one is the last 10 years. Last 10 years. Now you'll notice there are 12 here because you get to pick. You get to choose if you want to go from 2015 to 2025 or 2016 to 2026. Or you can do them all and be crazy like me. Or it might just conveniently happen for you anyway. I better start playing a new one for her again. Yeah. This is just about when the book was originally published. So even if you get a republished or a new edition, this is for when the book was originally published. Well, yeah, that would be 11 books, but it's 2015 to 2026. So it's 12. Because HRCYED goes into 2026, so. Yeah. Oof. I have a nasty cut on my foot. I don't know where I got it from. So, does that make sense for this one? This one's also one of the, I think, the easier ones to interpret whenever the original publication is. Yeah, the useful links, helpful links. I believe. Did I not put it on there? I must have not put it on there. I'll fix it. Don't worry. I'll fix it. Oh! Yeah, I guess you are. That's true. If you're counting it that way. Yeah. Numbers are weird that way. Like it should be, technically should be 10 because 25 minus 15 is 10. But because you have to do one for each one, it's 11. You're right. It's 11 books for 10 years. You guys are right. You got me. Negative points to Q. All right. Translated books, can we count the year it was published in English? Yes. So if it's translated into your language that you're reading it in, yes, you can count it for that. Or you can count it in the original. That one, you can kind of do either or. I'm not going to police that. Math is confusing. I hate it. I'm a writer, not a mather. All right. This is the prompt that I think has given people the most confusion, and that is totally okay. So this is all the adaptations, okay? With this one, this is where you don't necessarily have to read a book. You can consume the media. So the only ones that must be books is the modern retelling of a classic and the graphic novel or comic, okay? Now you can do either or, and either in any which way. So with the musical, for example, we have the book, The Phantom of the Opera. If you've never read Phantom of the Opera, you could read it. Or if you have read Phantom of the Opera, you can watch the movie musical, or if it's playing around, you can go see it in the theater. That's fine. It also does not matter if the book came first or not. If it's a musical that then became a book, that is okay. Or if it's a book, like you could read Wicked, and then Wicked, even though they're very different. I will say very different book than the musical. But as long as they have that connection. Okay. Same with the play. If you can literally read the play book, that's fine. So you could read any Shakespeare. Or if you go and see that play, that's fine. That'll count because you're still consuming the story. If it's a movie we've already seen, would that count as a reread? Yes, that would have to. You'd have to redeem your reread points to get it. Yes, it can be an adaptation of anything story-wise. So let me think of an example of this one. So like there are, who got one recently? I'm trying to think of one. I know like Raven Boys just got a new graphic novel. So that'd be fine. I almost used the quote, Dark Q does not control your reading. That's like the main theme. So yeah, as long as for the graphic novel though, or the comic, you do have to read that version, but it can be an adaptation for anything. Lore Olympus, yes. Lore Olympus is a great one. Yes, Lore Olympus would absolutely count. Books based on movies, but not the same plot count as like a Star Wars novel. Yes. Yes, because it comes from the universe of Star Wars, which is a movie. So yes, if you wanted to do that Star Wars as your movie, but you're reading a Star Wars novel, yes, that would count. That's the web series is the one that's getting everybody. So yes, I absolutely do. So for example, the Lizzie Bennet Diaries is where this comes from because I have such a love for the Lizzie Bennet Diaries. That is a web series on YouTube, fully available, that you can watch the whole thing, and you're experiencing the story of Pride and Prejudice. They did a bunch of them. Lizzie Bennet Diaries occurred in like 2012, I want to say, and it spawned so many. So there's the Lizzie Bennet Diaries. There's Much Ado About Nothing, which is one of my favorites, and Nothing Much to Do is for Much Ado About Nothing. There's a bunch of Little Women one. There's Green Gables Fables, which is an Anna Green Gables one. So there's actually a couple Anna Green Gables ones. There's a Secret Garden one. There's Emma. There's Frankenstein. There's so many. I will absolutely link everybody to those. I think, did I put them in the spreadsheet? Let me go to the spreadsheet. I might not have yet. Okay, I will make a little handy dandy tool. But there was a link in Discord that I believe I pinned. Where did I put it? Is it in here? Yes. So in the I Need Help part of Discord, there is a list of literary web series. Yep, and it has them all. This is a great resource. Sanditon, Autobiography of Jane Eyre, Nick Carraway Chronicles, Emma Project, Notes by Christine, A Telltale Vlog, Emma Approved, Green Gables Fables, Kate the Cursed, Shakes the Town's The Thing, Classic Alice, Kissing in the Rain, Jules and Monty, Nothing Much to Do, New Adventures of Peter Wendy, A Little Princess the Vlog, Adventures of Jamie Watson and Sherlock Holmes. There's so many. They're all fantastic. There's a bunch that I don't even know, but I love it. So that is pinned in the Discord in the I Need Help section. Okay. Okay. It does not have to be a classic adaptation. That's just what the majority of them were. So it does not. Oh, I'm so sorry. I will absolutely lower the background music. Got you. Okay. Is there a minimum how much we need to watch? You need to finish the whole thing. Finish the whole thing. Unless it's like ongoing and stuff. Then you gotta finish it. Yes. If you watch the film and then you read the book, yes. Because you can do either or with these. You can either read the book or you can watch the movie. You can do both too if you really want. but it just either or. Yeah, Nancy Drew web series would absolutely work for sure. Yeah. Oh, watch all the Fantastic Guard reading challenge. Just love it. Hi. Does it still count as a reread? Hold on. I gotta scroll up for the original. Ah, the thing keeps jumping too much. There's too much. Ah, I can't get to the. I can't even find the comment I've highlighted. Hold on. There it is. Reading a book of short stories and episodes of Twilight Zone based on them doesn't work. Reading a book of short stories. No, that works. Okay, if it's... Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. I think I see what you're saying. You don't have to watch the entire Twilight Zone. No. But if it... Yeah, reading the book of short stories... Because if you just read the book of short stories, that's your TV show. You don't have to watch the TV show to do it. But because a TV show is connected to it, that would count for the prompt. Does that make sense? But if you already read the short stories, then I would say you'd have to watch the episodes from those short stories. That's a little bit more tricky. But yeah. But like for me, if I'm watching like the 1995 Pride and Prejudice, you'd have to watch that whole series to get the book. Well, you could do the Avatar TV shows because there are books. There's a whole comic series for the show, and there are the other books that are connected to it. So yes, you could absolutely watch the Avatar TV show. Yeah. Yep. Okay. Yes, if you've only watched the movie, you can read the book and it counts. Yes. I've read Alana, the First Adventure. It's getting graphic novel. Yes. No. So the graphic novel would not be a reread because it's a new source. New source. Yeah, you don't have to do both. You can if you want. You've got to do one or the other. Does not matter which one you do. I don't have to, but I'm gonna. Yeah. You only have to consume one or the other, yes. We don't talk about that. You could watch the Netflix show, though. That's fine. That'll do. I thought that was pretty good. Comics and novels aren't in the shows. I've already read those. Just didn't consider them adaptations since they're different stories. Gotcha. It's still a connection. I think it depends on, like, the universe. You can interpret that how you want. So if I read the One Piece manga books and watched season 2, it counts. Yes. Yes. Would watching a web series that is a spin-off of a TV show that has books written for the TV show count? Yes. This is basically playing Two Ways to Kevin Bacon, but with adaptations. Yeah. There is no movie in Ba Sing Se. We have not. We have not yet. We have not yet. Sorry, guys. I knew this one was going to take a lot of time to fully explain. But does everyone seem to understand that? It's one or the other. You can do all books if you want. You can watch the other stuff if you want. You are not obligated to do both. Okay? You're not obligated to do one more than the other either. It's whatever works for you. Okay. Disability representation. I think this one's pretty simple. You just need 5 books with the protagonists who have different disabilities. So you know two same disabilities twice for this one because we're trying to read diversely. Yes, it is. Overlap is absolutely allowed. You can pick and choose. Yes, a rewatch it would be the same. It would be a 50 points. Yes. So yeah, so if you read a book that has a blind main character, you can use that one, but if you read a second book that also has a blind main character, you can't submit that for this. You can still get points for them being marginalized and stuff in your point systems, but it would have to be, okay, the next person has a depression, or the next one has OCD, or the next one is an amputee or something. Doesn't matter what it is, as long as there are 5 different disabilities being represented. You absolutely could read the Buffy graphic novels. 100% you could. Yes, you can. Yeah, if the main character has autism and ADHD, you could, and another one with just ADHD, you could use one for autism, one for ADHD. Yes, that's fine. It's one of your favorite new prompts. I'm glad. Yay. I'm honestly shocked I didn't include it last time. I don't know why I didn't. Because this was definitely, I already like kind of track this in my own reading in general. So, but it's here now for you. So when you submit to this one you can do either, you can submit them one at a time, or you can submit an additional book. You can submit them all at once. However you want to do that, it's fine. Okay. Cool. Oof, stop. It would count as different because it affects them differently. Yeah, with one leg missing or with 2 arms missing count. It would be different because it affects their lives in a different way. Oh, I'm glad. I was really spiteful towards the whole anti-DEI thing, as you guys know. So the theme of last year's theme was all about like reading diversely, but especially reading in the indie spaces. And this year it's all just about reading very diversely of lives outside your own. That's the theme of her kid too. Oh, wait. My mother texted me asking if I have Paul. Yes, I do. Okay. I'm so glad. Thank you for loving the spreadsheet. I get a book I read about dragons. One dragon was supposed to have a poison barb on the tail, but didn't. I'm gonna leave that up to you. It does have to be the protagonist. So, is the dragon the protagonist? Then yes, but it has to be a protagonist that is dealing with the disability or is living with the disability. So, if the dragon is the protagonist and it affects their lives in a way that could be mirrored in our world, then yes. But if it's just like the main character's dragon, then yeah. 2 things Dark Q loves: making super hard challenges in DEI. Yeah, that's pretty much it. All right, we're getting into heritage months. So there are a bunch of heritage months all throughout the year that are celebrated here in the US, and I will continue to celebrate them regardless of what administration says. Read one. Doesn't have to be specifically like a nonfiction book about that month or anything. It just has to be representation. So for Black history, if you read a book that is by a Black author and the main character or this overall theme of it involves something to do with Black history or, Black girl magic, that kind of stuff, anything that would reflect within the theme of that month, you can read. You do not have to read it within the month that is celebrated in Black history. That's kind of extra bonus points for you if you do. But you can read them at any time. Keeps you from downloading a bunch of stuff on KU and forgetting what they were for? Yes. Yep. Okay, have a good one. Yeah. Yes, author and plotter either or, preferably both. Because like you wouldn't want to read a book that's for Black history, but it's written by a white author. Like that doesn't ring well at all. Yes, it would. It's just that's the month. It's called Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month. But yes, an Asian author, and you can read across the board, regardless of where that author lives, as long as the story essentially fits the theme of the Heritage Month. That would count. Yes, absolutely, they can be fiction books. So I would say, like, for example, with Black history, reading Legendborn by Tracy Deonn is an excellent example of a fantasy book that fits so perfectly with the theme of Black history. Absolutely. Or an Octavia E. Butler book would absolutely work. even though it's like like a lot of her stuff is sci-fi, but it involves Black history. But they absolutely can be fiction books. Absolutely, 100%. Cool. Yes, Iron Widow would absolutely work for AAPI. Absolutely. Especially because it pulls from that. Things like Elizabeth Lim. Even though they are fantasy worlds, they are reflections of the real world in those situations. So you're just about to mention Legendborn? Yeah. It's a perfect example of it. Indigo would be perfect romance for that. Perfect there. Yeah. Indigenous heritage, are we thinking Native American or what Australian? Aboriginal would count too. Indigenous to wherever you're finding. So yes, does not have to be Native American, but just Indigenous. That's why it's Indigenous heritage, not Native American heritage. Yeah. Okay. Yes. Absolutely. Again, if it's reading more diversely, it's going to count. I'll try to read fiction and nonfiction for the Heritage Prompt. Beautiful. Make it harder on yourself, you know? All right. Translated works. All right. Translated works, 5 different books translated from their original language into whatever you read in. Work 5 different languages. So for me, because I read in English, if I read something that was in Japanese originally, in German, in French, in Spanish, in Afrikaans or whatever, it doesn't really matter. As long as I read that they were translated, they were originally published in another language that is not my own. Beautiful. Done, done, done. Just got home from the bookstore and picked up a translated book. Ooh! What book? Okay. Again, this one functions, the submission form functions the same way as the disability submission. You can submit them one at a time or all at once. Read in both Dutch and English, so I guess original English book that I read in Dutch. No, that would count. That'd be fine. Even if you do read, like I can read in Japanese, but it's still translated. If wherever the book was originally done and you're reading a translated version of that, that's fine. Can I read a Danish book converted to English and then an English book translated to Danish? Yeah, you could, as long as it's not the same book. You can't use the same book, but you would count it as, because like your, native tongue is not English, so you could use English as a translated one for you. That's fine. No. So it does have to be translated from another language. Even if it was published in an English-speaking country, it's not translation. So it does have to be translated from a different language. Everyone else is reading because I need help. They're mostly Japanese or Korean. Don't worry, we got you. I just picked up other day. I picked up Stars of Chaos. This was translated from Mandarin. I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure that's because it's Danmei. Found that because Black and Red opened their new store. Yes, if you can, you can read it in the original language. If you can do it. Yeah. An elderly lady is up to no good. Originally is in Swedish. There you go. You can read in 4 languages, so I'll have to stretch myself to find books published in those languages. Try to read originals. That'll be fine. That'll be fine. Love this. Oh, a way to track the translator. You could add, so in the spreadsheet, if you want to, in the tracker, you could just insert if you wanted to, or in the, where are we at? There it is, translation. You could add a column here for translator if you want to track the translator. That's totally fine. Yeah. Cool, cool, cool. The BookTube Prize had a translated category a few years ago. There we go. That's good. Yeah. There you are. Oh, goodness. Whoa. All right, back to this side. I hope that makes sense for everybody. Okay, around the world. Beautiful. Around the world, settings. This is all about settings. Setting up the book, or the author is from that, if it's that hard. You can do either or. So North America, South America, Africa, Europe, Asia, Australia, if you want to do Antarctica. Which is funny. Somebody commented recently saying that they live in Antarctica and they exclusively read books there that have all Antarctica settings, which I just personally did not think there was a ton of books set in Antarctica. So that's why it's not an official, but it is a bonus. That's crazy. I've only ever read one, I think, and that was The Midnight Library, where she's briefly there on one of her lives in Antarctica. It's crazy. Okay, bye. Have a good one. Ember and the Ice Dragons is also middle grade set in Antarctica. That's crazy. Good. So you can decide if it's, especially if it's set depending on the city it's set in, to give you a better example of where it is, of where it would fit. But you can decide that. I will let you discern. I feel like everyone's going to do Antarctica. Oh, involving the seed vaults. Yeah, that would definitely do it. Bunch of horror books that take place in Antarctica. Yeah. Yeah, I would say it's what part of Russia. But overall, you can decide that. And then someone did ask about like New Zealand. New Zealand would count with Australia. And then there was another question. I'm trying to remember them all from the video. I'll go through a scroll. But New Zealand would count for Australia. Then I think that's it. Maybe it was just the New Zealand question. Yes, started a list of Antarctica's book in the Discord. Yep. Wait, Inkblood Sister Scribe also does? I have that on my TBR. I didn't know that. Wild. So yes, any kind of bonus is going to be worth an extra 5 points. So even if you didn't, like when you're on your book tracker, even if you didn't do one of the other 5 pointers, you can still just mark it so that you get the extra points for it. So anything that I'm like, oh, this is an extra bonus thing, that's a 5 points. Okay. Any other questions on around the world? That was a big sigh. Okay. Cool. Well, now I have an Antarctica book. Yeah. Yeah, well. Yes. So reading original and adaptation, you would get, you'd only get one extra 5 points because you did both. So you get an extra 5 points per pair. Yeah. Okay. We're going to move forward. Moving forward to the colors. Someone had questions about the colors. But the colors is even bigger. We have red, orange, yellow, green, teal, light blue, blue, purple, pink, black, white, gold, or silver, or both. And then more than 7 colors. Okay. It is the main color of the cover. I would say if the book at least is 50% that color, you can count it. But if it's just a little inclination of it, or if it's like just the text, then no. But at least 50% that color. Shades are fine. Yeah. More points. My inner point goblin is happy. Yeah. As long as people still finish HRCYED, I'm gonna have to make it harder each time. That's just how this works now. Sorry, not sorry. it can't have the moniker the hardest reading challenge you'll ever do if people are completing it. Do you get bonus points for reading my books? If not, I feel bad because last year I feel like it was like a lot of people ended up having to read HRCYED Back. But like, oh, maybe. I mean, the Ashport Archives is a 4-book series. I'm just saying. And I do have an anthology out. So, I'm just saying. I would say there's a website that we've been using on the Discord that'll help tell you what the color profiles are. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes. Oh, and Nina just said that too. Yeah. Yep. Cool. Hi, Stu. Yes, I would say gray can count as silver. Yes. Yep. Hey, colorblinds unite. I don't want to read Fourth Wing. You don't have to. You don't gotta. No one's gonna make you read Fourth Wing. You can read whatever. There's lots of other gold books out there. Yeah, if you can't tell if it's blue or green, I'd count it as teal. Yeah. Song of Achilles. Song of Achilles is definitely teal. The paperback, that's teal. Yeah. Cersei definitely has a copper, I would say. It's copper, so you could put that in orange or gold. I would allow that because it's foily. Yes, you can post polls in the Discord and have people vote on what they think to help you. Found that with silver and gold, both would be that'd be bonus. So it wouldn't be bonus points. You just can use it for both. You can use it for silver or gold on it. So there is a gold one too. There probably is. I know my original copy is copper. It's in a box somewhere. Okay. Oh, my neck needs to crack because I'm sharing a full bed with a 100-pound doggo. Oh, honey, your eye is creepy. You have creepy eye. You had creepy eye. He has droopy eyes. So copper can count. I just said copper can be gold or orange. I will allow either. I feel like most covers cap out at 4 or 5. Well, that's why it's the hardest reading challenge you'll ever do. Something I hear a lot in competitive readathons when people are questioning is, would you be mad if someone else counted it? That's good. The hardest reading challenge you'll probably not complete. Herkipnik. There we go. No, you don't have to specify the edition. I'm pretty good with research. I can find them all. I'm gonna try. There's a lot of trust I'm putting in you guys. Oh, the UK cover is golden red. I see. I know my copy is teal. For surezies. Herkipnik. Herkipnik. Yeah, that's a good way to self-determine is, would you be mad if someone counted it? Yeah, get a book with a rainbow on the cover. Boom. Okay, I need to put my hair up a bit. Ignore me while just because I have the tism and I don't like my hair on my neck sometimes, but I also don't want to cut my hair. Yes. All right. Spooky creatures. My favorite one. These must be featured in some way. As explained in the video, you can interpret them. Vampires. They don't have to suck blood. They can sparkle. It's fine. Shifters can be anything as long as they shift. Does not have to be a werewolf. Does not have to be a dog. It can be anything. Anything. Magic users. Please don't use Harry Potter. That's my one ask across the board. Please don't incorporate the turfy nonsense that is the horrible person that I personally think is J.K. Rowling. Please don't include her. But any other form of a magic user can. Yes, black and white would count towards 7 colors. Yes, they can. So mage, wizard, witch, warlock, paladin, not paladin. What am I thinking? I said mage and I just went off on those. Yeah, magician, any of those count. Yes, you absolutely could count Twilight for vampire and then New Moon for shifter. Yeah, absolutely could. Good, yeah. I would say yes, it could be other creature. I would say that'd be fine. Yeah, it'd be fine. That'd be fine. It's not anything that's going to give her anything. Yes, you absolutely could. Yes, you could. Breaking Dawn as magic user? Where's the magic user in Breaking Dawn? Where's the magic user in Breaking Dawn? I don't know. Okay. Zombie can be undead in general as long as they died and were resurrected. Yes. There's an entire area of that person, and I pointed to it all and asked my son, you know, the story. He says, yeah, you can get them. Like, no, that's the magic. You can only buy it used. To buy it new is dangerous. You'll understand when you're older. Yeah. Got chances for everything except the zombie so far. That one has eluded me. So zombie undead count for any character if they're died and come back. Yes. Oh! I'm going to say no on that one because it's not magic per se. It is still part of their vampire lore. So I would probably say no. But again, I'm not going to police you on it. Yeah. I guess it's time for me to read Connor mixing recipes for watercolor. Yeah. I wouldn't count it as magic, necessarily. Yeah, the vamp overrides that. Yeah, I would literally say Raymond Malik's character is the only one I'd be like, that's magic because he's manipulating the elements. But it's more superpower. And while superpower would... I feel like there's an element that needs to be met with magic user in the sense of like spell work, I would say. And they're not really doing spells. It's just a natural part of their being. If that makes sense. It's weird. Yeah. It's part of their powers as a vampire, not vampire who is also a witch. That's where it's the line. You could use the zombie. Yeah, you could. I'd allow it. Yeah. Comic book superheroes, I would say it's up to you to decide. That one's up to you because it's like obviously Scarlet Witch, you could use her. She's a witch. I would say that, or you can use them for other creature. Yeah. Merfolk. So any mermaid, any creature of the sea is a merfolk. So mermaid, merman, obviously those count. Kraken would count. Any underwater creature. Swamp thing, anything like that, you can use for merfolk. Yeah. Could a second vampire book be used for zombies since they into the lore they die first? Yes, you could. If you really, really wanted to. Yes. But it does have to be like they had to have died first. That's why Twilight won't work for a lot of them, because they're not dead. They're being turned. But the Buffyverse, they die and come back. That would work. Yeah, exactly. Okay. Yep, Dresden. Dresden works. Yes, Kelpie would work for merfolk. A Kelpie, a Selkie. Selkies, I would say, are merfolk. Yeah. Yeah. If they are a water, or like a water-based creature, merfolk. People who can breathe underwater, do they live underwater? It's about where that creature originates, rather than, so if you had Aquaman, sure. I don't even read fantasy. Well, that's where the 5 indie books counts. So if you're like, this is impossible for me because I don't read fantasy, use those 5 indie books as a replacement for this prompt. That's fine. Hey, that's good. I didn't know Black Sun it was merfolk either, because I haven't read it yet, but I have it. I have it in a box. Yeah, read a Little Mermaid retelling. When the Tides Held the Moon. That's a perfect one that everyone should read. And it's queer. And it's BIPOC. And disability. It's got them all. It's literally like my favorite book right now. Yep, Pride and Prejudice and Zombies. There's a movie. There's also Little Women and Werewolves and Jane Slayer. Yep. Yeah. Non-fiction about octopuses. That's fine. Find you a Bigfoot living in Antarctica. Let's do it. Let's go. Yeah, there you go. Perfect. Guys, there's so much crossover. Okay, we're going to finally move on to the Avatar Challenge because this was confusing so many people. So, this again, one or the other. You choose if you're going to start it with words in the title or element on the cover. Okay? With the words in the title, my original thought was it must be these 4 specific words. I know a lot of people were trying to interpret it. My original thought was it must be water, earth, fire, and air as the word itself, not interpretations like river and ocean or something. Not water words, but the word water. Well, the website is what explains them the most. The spreadsheet has their information as well. If you're a real competitor, you're doing it both ways. Yeah. That's what you predicted this challenge? That's kind of crazy. Yes. So not just bendable things. My initial idea was water, earth, fire, air as the word in the title. And but then it's more interpretive for the cover images, because then you can interpret any kind of water source, any kind of earth, any kind of fire. With air, I know that was something, but if it shows like a breeze, like the character's hair is blowing or something, clearly there's air on the cover, you know. You could do that. Yeah. But I wanted it to be the person, because you're becoming the avatar. Okay? Yes, you could use wildfire. That'd be fine. I'm always out here making things harder. Yep, this is for 2. So, clouds are water. However, clouds are moving. So they're also air. There's obviously a breeze because pressure change. So you could choose it for either. I would allow a cloud to be either or. So on the cover, no. I want it to be earth. I want, you can do a mountain, a cave, ground, soil, anything like that. I'm going to say no. Because the avatar doesn't necessarily do that. There are earthbenders who can do that, obviously Toph, but Aang doesn't ever do that. Yes, the sky, that would count. Only 7 people, Eva, have finished HRCYED, according to my spreadsheet. A tree, because like the tree is rooted in the soil and stuff, yes, you likely can do that. Oh, that's cool. I need to read it. I need to read Sword of Kaigen because I loved Blood Over Bright Haven by the same author. Yes, bubbles could be air. Bubbles could be air. Final day is July 6th. Yes, plants, trees. Yes. If you're using the cover. Only for the cover. I'll sort of asking the important questions. Yeah, they would. There's air inside those bubbles. They say it's like sweat over my last 15 books. Woo! Oh, baby boy. He's so sleepy. Dude, ML Wang, oh my god. She's amazing. So if you read that, now go read Blood Over Bright Haven, which would be a Q recommendation because I have a dedicated review for it. And it's amazing. It's in contention for best book of the year for me this year. House of Earth and Blood, People of Earth, People of Fire, Firekeeper's Daughter. Yes, those all work. The Unrelenting Earth would also work. That's a sci-fi one. That's a sequel though. You have to read Surviving Sky first. But yeah. There's a lot. There are so many more than you think that have these words in them, but I would like specifically those 4 words. No interpretations. You obviously, I said you can use wildfire. That's fine. I can't think of any ones that connect with water and earth. But yes. Ooh, if the word is a series title, but not the book title. Would you be mad if somebody did that? Waterfall, duh. Waterfall, that works. Which do I think is harder, on cover or in title? I think in title is probably harder because I'm constraining it so much. Yeah. Water moon, okay. He's eating something in his sleep right now. Watermelon. Yep. Oh, yep. The spear cuts through water. From the earth to the moon, catching fire, and castle in the air. Beautiful. Yes. I think, well, okay. The only thing that's difficult is just how the submission form works. So, like, let me click on one. I'm going to click on earth here. Because it's only asking what is the book you're submitting. So if you do series and you read the whole series, then, oh yeah, like Broken Earth trilogy, that makes sense. You would, in your submission, write that in parentheses, Broken Earth trilogy, and then I would be like, okay, that counts. I would say, okay. Yep. Yep. Yeah. Okay, cool. All right, I'm going to move on. I'm hoping that answered all the questions about that one. Emma knows. Ooh, no. No. Because it's not, it would have to be a compound word. Affair is a whole other meaning, whereas like waterfall is still the water, part of it is the water element. It does have to be connected correctly. So no, that would not work. Okay. Yeah. Okay, moving on to animals. House pets, cat and dog. In the book. Must be there. Exotic pets. Lizards, birds, hamsters, guinea pigs, any of those. Ferrets, exotic pet. If you need an exotic vet, it's an exotic pet. I would count it for your wild animals, but if you'd already counted it as a wild animal, then yes, you can. It does not have to actually be a pet, but it could be an exotic pet. It doesn't have to. That's sad, but yes, you could use that. Yes, you can read nonfiction books for animals. Absolutely, you can. It just has to be a major feature of the book. That's the thing. Yes, if it's a pigs with wings, yeah, sure, that would count. It does not have to be a legit mundane animal. The animal does not need to be the protagonist. It just must be featured. It can't be a one-off sentence, basically. So like with that wild snake, like the character came across a wild snake for like a paragraph, that does not count. It must be featured in the book in some way. Yes, if you first read the book 10 plus years ago, yes, that still counts. Yes. Anthropomorphize is also fine. Yes. Golden Compass absolutely would work. Absolutely. Yes. The Bible counts again. Yep, it sure does. Man, everyone just reads the Bible. That would be hilarious. I haven't seen anyone comment that they've read the Bible for this challenge, but that'd be really funny. Yeah, Narnia, shoo-in. Absolutely a shoo-in for it. So this is where it's a no. It is not metaphorical. It cannot be metaphorical. The creature must exist. This is where my book, Search for the Phoenix, does not work because the phoenix are they're not metaphorical, but they're not actually birds. But they're birds on the cover, but they're not actually birds. Yeah. How many prompts? New challenge. That's going to be a new secret challenge. Buddy, read the Old Testament, everybody. Bible's an anthology. Yep. Charlotte's Web, Animal Farm, absolutely. Absolutely, those count. And again, so all of these animals is subject to where you are and how you want to interpret it. Oh, you can read any age range. I don't care. You read any age range. There's no restriction on age range of your books. Don't care. If you want to read middle grade, you want to read children's books, you want to read nursery books, I don't care. It's a book and it counts. Yes, I will be revealing the secret challenge during this live stream. Oh, I missed it. You have to choose if you do on the wait. So you have to choose if you do on the covers or in the story. This one must be in the story. They can also be on the cover, but this is not a cover prompt. It has to be in the story itself. Yeah. The apocalypse could be good for other spooky creatures. Good. Yeah, you can read all picture books. If you can find all these prompts within picture books, go for it. Go for it. We have not gotten the secret challenge yet. I will be revealing that at the end of the explanations of stuff. Stephanie Plum series has a hamster. Boom. I recently read Ghost of the Catacombs, and that main character has a hedgehog that she brings with her throughout her adventures in the catacombs. Exotic pet. In one book is a monkey dog. Actually, in Memory of the Hoopaway, one of the main characters has a pet crow as well. Not even a pet, but they are a wild animal, but also an exotic pet. So, my second book, Memory of the Hoopaway, does in fact have that. Yep. Yeah, you can use picture books. I don't care. Hell yeah. Okay. So wild animals, farm animals, zoo animals, those are subject to interpretation by you. You can do whatever you want to do with that. If it's a zoo animal near you, or if it's a zoo animal you know is in a zoo, that's fine as well. Cat in the Hunger Games. Yep. Buttercup. Is that her name? Buttercup is the cat. I forget the goat's name. What's the goat's name? There's also a goat in the Hunger Games. Buttercup's the cat. What's the goat? What's the goat's name in Hunger Games? Not goat, ma'am. Prim has a goat. What's the goat's name? Lady. The goat's name is Lady. There we go. There we go. So, it is dependent on you. You get to determine that. If you live in a country that has a wild animal is a lion, for example, you could count that as a wild animal, even if in the book it is not, it's in a zoo or it's something else. But you could count it either way. You could count it for wild or you could count it for zoo. Doesn't matter. It is up to you where you want to use that. Okay. If there's a very normal house pet in your country that's not a cat or dog, and like cats and dogs are more wild animals, like Japan, cats can be wild. There are wild cats out everywhere in Japan. You could count that. That's fine. But if like it's normal to have an axolotl, which would be exotic pet, but you know, it depends. It depends on you and how you want to interpret it. I'm not going to restrain you for this. Morning, Elena. How you doing? Alien creatures being kept as pets can shapeshift into real animals. Yes. I'd say that's fine. I'd say you could count that. If it's an exotic pet IRL and then it's a wild animal in the book. Yeah, you could. So you could count it either way. You could count it either way. If someone has like a parrot, but you say you've already gotten your exotic pet category, you could then put it as a wild animal as well. That's fine. Bible fits so many prompts. Is kept in an alien zoo. I've never read Slaughterhouse-Five, so I don't know. If it's an actual person, though, then no. It must be an animal. But if they shapeshift into that animal, then yes, that can count. He's licking his lips in his sleep. Okay. 6 Crimson Cranes. Yes, that would work. Absolutely, it works. Okay. 1 fish, 2 fish, red fish, blue fish. People are animal. You could argue that, but for the sake of this prompt, they're not. Okay, bye, Nina. Have fun. All right. We're moving forward. Gentle reminder for everyone to like the stream. Thank you. All right. We're moving on to the bigger queer alphabet. So we did a bunch of these last year. These must be protagonists involved in this. So you must have a gay protagonist. You must have a lesbian protagonist. You must have a bi or pan protagonist, a trans protagonist, an intersex protagonist, an asexual protagonist, a protagonist who is in a polyamorous relationship by the end of the book, a non-binary protagonist, or a gender fluid protagonist. This also counts for like two-spirit and stuff. These ones you can click on them. So like if I click on gender fluid, you can have gender fluid, two-spirit, or bi-gender. Any of those work. Or you have another one that I missed. That's fine. With non-binary, agender, genderqueer, or other. That's fine. Yes, aromantic also falls. Anything that falls under those umbrellas, asexual umbrella, demisexual, aromantic, gray sexual, that's fine. They all are under the ACE umbrella. That works. Okay. Yes, you absolutely can use nonfiction. You can use nonfiction for the whole thing. I don't care. Same as you can use the whole thing. You read whatever you want to read. Would something like Jurassic Park or Dinosaur Sanctuary count for zoo animals? You know what? Yes, it absolutely would count for zoo. Absolutely. You want to go outside? You want to go outside again? You got to back up though, bud. Okay. Okay. I got to open the door the whole way. There you go. Don't steal a shoe. Thank you. Okay. Author identity, yes, will count as well for nonfiction. Yeah, absolutely. Cool. Iron Widow absolutely is polyamory. Absolutely. I've also read Infinity Alchemist by Case and Callender. Polyamory. Mm-hmm. Well, you can reread. You can now reread when you get points. 50 points for a reread. And 10 new books equals a reread as well. I've never seen abrosexual in a book, but if you find it, I mean, where would abrosexual fit? Where would I put that? I would say I would put it with probably Pan, probably by Pan, or yeah, I'd probably put it in by Pan if it's there. If you found someone who has a book that is that, fantastic. Yep. 100% nonfiction conclusion may be the actual hardest, yeah. Yeah, and 45 years ago also, yeah, you're right, it doesn't count. You can reread it again. Naturalist Society is another great book for polyamory, good. I think it depends. I think it just depends on the character. Depends on how it's represented with the character. Truly Devious has a non-binary asexual character. Very good. Search for the Phoenix is also an asexual character. Nice. Okay. Well, if that covers that, we're going to move on to BIPOC authors. So BIPOC, it seems confusing, is Black, Indigenous, person of color authors. We're reading 10 different ones. You can repeat. You could read 10 Black authors, and that's fine. You can repeat. Just as long as they're backgrounds that are different from your own. And that works. Just got an arc for Muted Volume 1. Apparently it's Polly. There you go. Keep it. I know I'm saving Chaos King, which is the sequel to Infinity Alchemist, for my polyamory, because I'm like, I know that one is it. I know it is. So yes, it must be the main character for it. Yeah. Yes, they must be different authors, though. Yes. So 10 different Black authors or 10 different Indigenous authors for the BIPOC. But it can be basically not white. Don't read white authors. There's enough of us right now. We're good. Read diversely. But they just different backgrounds. Different backgrounds from your own. Experiences that are different from your own. You know? This is another one where you can submit them one at a time or all at once. Doesn't matter. Yes, the backgrounds can repeat. The authors cannot. Okay? Yes, you could, in fact, read all Indigenous or all Black or all Asian or all Persian or all anything. It could be anything. Okay? New releases is back. As we've explained, I think people are mostly grasping this one. Last time in HRCYED, it was 30 days before or after its release. Now it is 60 before or after. Does not matter. So you've got like a 4-month window to really read a book. So if a book is coming out in July, but you got the arc for it, you could read it 60 days before. Now, it does not count prior to the start of HRCYED. So we would have to wait for another July release next year. Okay. But if you're doing a December, you could read that book in October and count it for December. Or you could read it in February and count it for December. Yes. Point system is still 30. So you do get points if it's 30. But for the prompt itself, for completing the prompt, it's 60. But if you want to earn points, you still got to do 30. Yes. Yes, if you're reading it during HRCYED, yes, you could read it for June. You could even do one for May if you're reading it in July during HRCYED. Yes. Yes, you can. That way you would finish this prompt early. So you could, yes, you could read a June 2025 or a May 2025 release during HRCYED when it starts, but only after HRCYED has started. Okay. Oh no! What did I do? Oh no! Okay. What is moving? Oh, okay, that. Okay. 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 I want to get through. We're going to get through these last 2 white prompts, and I'm going to take a brief bathroom break. Okay. Nonfiction. 5 nonfiction doesn't matter. 5 nonfiction. Correct. No, it must be a new release. It must be a 2025 or a 2026, basically, around as time moves on. So, book publishing, yes, yes. So you have 2 months to read that, yes. Cool. All right. Nonfiction challenge, 5 different topics or genres within nonfiction, 5 different subgenres. So you could read an autobiography, and then you could read a self-help, and then you could read a science one, and then you could read a social issues one, and then you could read like an essays or something. That's fine. Just 5 different subgenres of nonfiction. Okay. Same thing. You can submit them all at once or one at a time. And then finally, my recommendations. I make a lot of reviews. I read like 300 books a year. So I have mini reviews. There are playlists for each of these. I have full reading vlogs. I just posted one to Ko-fi for reading evocation. And then any of my TikToks or my Instagram reels or my shorts. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, new collection would work. We found the prompt the Bible doesn't count for. All right. Cool. Don't worry, I gotta film a couple more mini reviews today, but I do have a ton of mini reviews, but I'm still doing them. I'll be doing them all throughout. Yeah, you can switch it. You can switch it around. So you don't have to submit right away for anything. If you want to wait till the very end of HRCYED to submit things, that's fine. That is a-okay. No, please, no. No, they are not only indies. They are arcs. They are 5-star reads sometimes. My obsessed one, so Blood Over Bright Haven. I have an I'm obsessed with this book one. They are commissioned. You can commission me to read books, and I do mini reviews for those. So there is an entire playlist of mini reviews. So there you go. No, God, no. Is Bible an indie? Good question. It's an anthology. It's a collaborative work. Oh, this would be awful. Why you guys want to torture me? No. I'm agnostic. No. All right. Does that make sense? Okay, I'm going to take a little mini break really quickly. Put whatever you want in the chat. I will be right back. I'm going to turn up the music a little bit. And I will be right back. Why did my camera stop? Okay, we're back. Sorry, everybody. Hold on. Thank you for letting me take a bathroom break. Oh my goodness, there were so many comments when I left. Are you coming back in? Huh? What are you doing? Okay, fine. Alrighty. Hi. Welcome back, everybody. Let me come back here. So you will, because I'm having you guys submit your usernames each submission, you can ask if I've submitted it or not. And that's fine. And I will happily get that for you. So they can be mentioned if it's the vlogs and stuff, they can be mentioned as long as it's like I'm telling you something about that book. So a sort of recommendation, but it does not have to be a dedicated like reading vlog. So I have a bunch of like just regular vlogs where I mention I'm reading this book and here's how I feel about it right now. That counts. Yeah. Oh God, read all religious texts. I would never be that cruel. I mean, Dark Q might be. Remember to hydrate, everybody. Audiobook Bibli. Okay. Read by me. We'll have live streams where I'm just reading the Bible aloud. Yeah, that'll go great. That's going to mess up the algorithm for who's finding me. Yeah. Yeah, and that's the whole spirit. The spirit of it is trying as much as you can. Okay, have fun, Michiru. Dude, I love Blood of Brighthaven. It's so good. It's so good. Okay. So recap for Emily. So you can go back. I'm going to have a full FAQ sheet based on this live stream of everything we covered. But it is one or the other. One or the other. You can read the source material or you can watch the adaptation. So you can just read Little Women or you can just watch the movie Little Women. Okay. There are double ups this year. Triple ups with points, double ups all around. Alrighty, alrighty. Cool, cool, cool. Yes, I will be adding time markers after this is over, once it's exported. So I will add time markers, and I'm going to be making a Word document that I will put in the Discord where people can just look up the question that they have and see if it's already answered. So, yep. It was still... Yes, you can do that. Yep, that's exactly it. Cool. All right. Yeah, you could. February 2. It is the earliest you could do. And with me, I mean Libby. So it was dependent on you because the purple prompts were one of the things that it depended on was your name and the length of your name. So it definitely depended on the person. I think the lowest I saw one of the people who finished was 77 books. Other people had to do like 150. I have to do 140, I think is what mine ended up having to be. And that's with not doubling up, because purple prompts used to be the only way you could double up. Rules changed. Yeah, it depended on some of your own stuff. It's always it's pretty much always customizable. But yeah. Okay. This is why HRCYED 2 is going to be even crazier, because it's going to depend on your TBR game, on your readathon. We're about to get into the purple prompts, where that's going to really fluctuate for people. Yeah. How many people have signed up so far? Well, let's do a little check-in. Shall we? Where did I have it? Apparently, I didn't have it out. Let's see. How many people, since starting this, have signed up? We were at 219. We are at 233 right now. Woo! I had to read 145 for 1.0 without doubling. 137. See, Kim News was only 78. 136 for HRCYED 1. Yep. It depends. It depends. Okay. Well, we have gone over all of the white prompts. We are going to move over to the purple prompts. The purple prompts are customizable to you. As a puppy comes right back in. Hi, big man. Can I help you? Solid dog. Hi. Mwah. Okay. What you thinking? Boop, 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 boop. Boop, 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 boop. What do we need? We just need love and attention? Okay. Giving love and attention to my dog. Okay. So, purple prompts, subgenres. This is one where you must read six books, but it's whatever genre you choose. It can be your favorite genre, or it can be a genre you're challenging yourself on. Does not matter. Do you want to go up? Up. Up, up, up. You can do it. Don't make me pick you up. You got this. You can do it. I know you can. Don't be a liar. Paul, leave it. Go up. Up, up, up. There you go. Okay. I will be doing one. I will be doing a whole video of creating my personal HRCYED challenge, or my reading prospects. I will be doing that. Coming soon. Coming soon. Yes, you absolutely can use subgenres that aren't listed. You can edit that list, that drop down. I put in what I could, but you can absolutely, there's always so many more. There's always so many more. Riley, here is the link to the website. That is the link there. It is also linked in the announcement video, so you can find everything there. And then in the Discord, it is also there. 230 like, oh, I'm one of them. Yeah. So if you find a different subgenre that I have not listed, that is a-okay. They're just, I think in the spreadsheet, actually. Let me go to that one. Subgenres. Oh, yeah. So let me switch to here. So subgenres. If you're doing whatever, you can do whatever here. These are the main ones. With this, just go to the little edit guy, and you can add one here. You can add one, add another one there. So does not have to be these. Cool. Look, I've already got mine. Because I read fantasy. All right. But fantasy, romance, sci-fi, literary, horror, historical, mystery, thriller, and nonfiction are your main categories. This is what we used in the genre challenge last year, just reading one of each genre. But now you're doing this way. Cool. All right, bye. Have a good one. Yes, espionage under mystery thriller. Add it. Go for it. It was just, I didn't think of it in time. I tried to put as much as I could think of. We can, Asra, let me do it. Because the HRCYED 1 category will, or the HRCYED 1 category will go away. I think I'm just leaving it in I need help. Maybe. But I can make a spreadsheet specific one. If you guys want. I'll let you decide if you want to do that. I think the spirit of this prompt is to read many subgenres within one. But if you really, really want to, like, again, I'm not going to police you on it. I'm not policing it. I'm going to do horror. It's fine to do cross genre. Yes, so fantasy horror, the fantasy is the subgenre in the horror. So there is that category there. You absolutely can do that. Yeah. Wait, what sticker? Oh, proud HRCYED Psycho. Okay. I'll make that. I'll get that sticker going. Don't worry. Yeah. Yes, please tag Asura if you need help with customizing spreadsheets, because Asura is a genius. I bow down to Asura's powers. And that's coming from me who, like, I thought I had really good spreadsheet powers. Asura far outpowers me. I have learned so much from Asura. Okay. That's subgenres. Make sense? Cool. Award season. So, many confusions on this one. Yes, you may use different awards. You can use, and yes, I saw a SPIFBO question was, could you use for multiple runs of SPIFBO, so different years? Yes, you can. You just need to complete at least one winner, one finalist, one semifinalist, and one entry. And then 3 more, doesn't matter where they go. So you're reading 7 books in total for award season. You could read 2 winners, 2 finalists, 2 semifinalists, and then an entry. That's fine. But they can go across multiple awards, because some awards do not include all of, like, these specific levels. So you might have to. I based it off of SPIFBO because that's the one we did last year, because SPIFBO does release all of that information. But yes, you can do that. I out-design you in layouts. You do for see that, but that's why we make such a good team, Ashta. You help me with the formulas, I make the layout. I, for one, welcome our new spreadsheet overlords. If the award had an extra stage once in the 1930s, you don't need to read that stage. You don't need to. A template for what? Oh, for stickers? I've already made stickers on there, which I will be packaging your guys' orders. So if you guys saw, I have stickers for HRCYED, and the bookmarks should be here today. They were supposed to get here yesterday, and then they didn't. But thank you all for those who've already ordered them. I will be shipping those out. I got some new envelopes specifically for sending those to you guys. But yeah. Yeah, you can absolutely do an award that does not have all 4 categories. Absolutely, you can. That's why you might have to use multiple different awards. So if that award specifically only tells you who won and doesn't tell you all the entries, then you need to find another award, and you can use that as well. So you can use multiple different awards to cover all the different ones. Okay? I'm planning on calling anything that was lower than 10th place as entrant. Yeah, that'd be fine. Yep. Mm-hmm. Book 2 prize also includes these levels. Cool. Yep. There are also journal spreads in the drive. Yes, there are. And those were designed by Jess and put into Canva by me. Thank you. Yep, they already exist. We have 3 different ones. We have a I survived HRCYED. We have a winner, so if you won HRCYED, and then we have a generic HRCYED 2 sticker that we do in fact. And then we have a bookmark that's specific for HRCYED 2, and it has all the prompts on the back that you can check off as you complete it. So yeah. Yeah. Caldecott winners to continue your picture book theme. There you go. You can do whatever you want with it. You can stick to just one, but you might have to, in order to reach each of these stages, have to go through 2. Oh! So I have a few. There are some spreadsheets on my track. So I have a basic book tracker spreadsheet template for people. And then there is the HRCYED specific one. So I do technically already have those on Ko-fi. You like having all the prompts on the bookmarks? Yeah, they're there. May need to do a second version. Actually do just picture books. Cool. Okay. Does that make sense for award season? I think that covers it in theory. Okay, the TBR challenge. People were very confused a little bit. You only need to play once. You do not have to keep playing a TBR game. You just have to choose a TBR game that you've never played before. You do not have to complete it within 1 month. You can complete it throughout HRCYED. This is you choosing specific books out of a TBR challenge. TBR game challenge. So you can use my, jars of chaos or whatever as a template for it and pick your books. You can use all the ones. Excuse me. On the spreadsheet, there are a bunch of suggestions if you don't know where to start. But there's a bunch of different games out there that people on BookTube play. So just choose one of those, play the game, choose the TBR, and that is the TBR you must complete to get this one done. Cool? There you go. Yes, use someone else's game, but your own books. Yes, correct. Didn't even know what a TBR game was before this. Now I've watched like 12. I love TBR games. I'm about to film the next round of TBR Changer. That's my current TBR game. Is called TBR Changer. So if you want to use TBR changer, you can. Yes, you do need to complete the TBR game within HRCYED year. Just within the HRCYED year, not within the time frame of the TBR game. Because I know a lot of people do like monthly TBRs. You do not have to take just 1 month to do it. You just must complete those books throughout the year. Yep. You just got a hold of your mom's library card, so Livy Library just double. Hell yeah. Watched all the TBR videos in the spreadsheet. It's hard, you know, it's hard not to watch them all. I've been here the whole time. Yes, I have. Yep. You get me. You get it. So yeah, I created TBR changer. It's fine. I love Game Changer so much. I love Dropout in general. I'm a big Dropout person. It can be from any year. Any year. Doesn't, yeah, the awards one's back to that. Any year. Doesn't matter. Does not matter. It doesn't matter. Does not matter. Any year. Oh my God. See, I feel like, okay, I love Brennan. Don't get me wrong. I love Brennan. I feel like Brennan is like the gateway drug into Dropout. Because he's so easy to love. And then you get delved deeper. Like, for me, in Dropout, Zach Oyama is my man. But also, Vic Michaelis. I love Vic so much. I love Ross so much when he's on. Like, there's so many great cast members to Dropout. Anyway, this is not what we're here to talk about. Oh my God. You guys are going to get me on a Dropout tangent because I can talk about it so much. Oh, I love Make Some Noise, dude. I love it so much. Oh my God. Yep. Oh my God. I love Dropout so much, guys. Well, that's why my TBR game is themed for Dropout now. It's fine. Okay, moving on. I love them. I love them so much. It's great. That's up to you. That's up to you. If you want to do the prompts that they got, you can do that. If you want to play it fully yourself, that's fine too. That is totally up to you. Not policing it. Not policing at all. Okay. The big one. Make a quote. Make a quote. This quote can be anything in the public domain. It can be, it doesn't have to be like a specific quote. It can be a quote from a movie that you really love. It can be from a book. It just can't be like, oh, your friend said this thing and that's your quote. It's not that. Not like a fun saying your friends say, but an actual quotable material from a quotable material. Yep. Yes, exactly. Yes. Assuming number of books should be based on game. Yes. But you can also interpret it for yourself. If you want to do it to their strict rules, or if you want to add more to it, that's fine. There, that's a good one. We lie best when we lie to ourselves. That's a good one. Yep. Using a favorite lyric. That is okay. It is a quotable material. Quotable material. Oh my God, are we? Amazing. I love it. Suggest a game where people publish their reading list for the quote challenge in order of words. Whoever guesses the right quote gets points. That'd be fun. That'd be real fun. Does a card count? I have a card that says shoot for the moon, even if you miss, you'll land among the stars. Yeah, you could use that. That's fine. Because I think that's also an actual quote. I think that is one that they put on a card. But yeah, just has to be from a quotable material. Okay, does it have to be the exact word? Can it be plural or can it be the word? So here's where this one's going to get difficult for people. It must be the exact word. However, if you need to build upon that word, so like if the word in the quote is books, but you don't have a title that has books on it, but just has book, then you read one book with an S that starts with an S, or the author name is yes. Kind of like how we did the alphabet challenge last round. You can build it. That's why, like, if the quote has a name in it, you can build the name through the letters. Okay? That's my workaround for this. Yes. Can I translate a quote into English? Yes, you can translate the quote into English. Choose a 5-minute Doctor Who speech. Jesus. Yep. Hi, Ian. So, not all those that wander are lost. Tolkien, that's a great one. I'm personally using some Anna Green Gables quotes, but you'll see. You can read a book for 2 words. Doesn't mean yes. So you can read a book for 2 words, but that is your double up. Yes. So that would only be your one double up. Is that? Yes. Word by word or letter by letter. All letter by letter is insane. But, you know, go for it. Please do. There are 4 lights. I love it. Oh, big sigh. Okay. Does that make sense? So, like, that's what I was saying with the Call Me Ishmael thing, even though we have recently discovered there is a book titled Ishmael. But if there wasn't, or if you didn't want to read Ishmael, you could do Call Me Ishmael. You could do it that way and still complete the quote. Does the title What She's Having count? I would say yes, a contraction like that with the apostrophe, yes, that can work. So what about book, then store for bookstore? Yes. So if the quote is books, it has the word bookstore, and then you did 2 books that was book and then store, yes, that works. But if the quote has the word book and store in it, you couldn't use bookstore for it unless you were doing it as a double up. Oh, you could use either quote. You could use either one. Do you get 1 double up total, or can you use each book twice? So it's 1 double up per book. Per book. So you could double up within the quote twice per book that you got, if that makes sense. But you would only be able to double up within the quote prompt. You couldn't double up with another prompt. Okay. I think it's one of those quotes that just gets misquoted all the time, you know? We got to do some research for what it is. Yes, I believe I said that. Yes, you can use a series title word. So you can use any title in the word, or any word in the title. In the subtitle is fine. In the author name is fine. And then yes, the series title. But you can't use anything that's like, this book is amazing, little kind of blurbs. Those ones we're not counting. But yes, series title, title, subtitle, author name. Yes, exactly. If you need to spell the word out through 3 books, yes. Yeah. Yep. Okay. I think, is that making sense? I'm hoping this is making sense to everyone. Not for that one, because, I mean, I guess you could do a who. Oh, wait, no. Backwards, no. So that one is a no, because it's a different word. It's a whole other word. But if the quote was whom, you could use who plus an M. That's fine. But the other way around, no. Searches for some more Bible in it. So there are workarounds to this to build the quote if you're missing stuff, but if it's a completely different word, then no, but certain contractions, yes. Cool? Cool? I'm hoping cool for everybody. Okay. Sorry, 1 second. Okay, yeah. Just talking about reading the Bible, need to go on stream bingo? Yeah, probably. Okay, we're going to move on from the quote. We're going to the readathon challenge now. With the readathon challenge, again, you are basically stealing prompts from a different readathon, but you must complete the prompts in that readathon. I did see someone have a readathon that was based on pages. Yes, you can do that as well. The prompt would just be the page numbers. You awoke a monster with your Jesus zombie question. You do not have to complete the readathon during the readathon itself. You can read books from prompts of readathons that are of past years. You can do that. So I know there's like the Hunger Games readathon, and that has like a ton of prompts. But you could use ones from previous years, or like the Reading Rush. The Reading Rush doesn't exist anymore, but you could use prompts from it because the videos still exist on YouTube. Yes. Oh, if you're doing a bingo board, do we have to get blackout? Yes. If you're doing a readathon that's a bingo board, yes. You're trying to complete every single prompt on that thing. I would say get blackout. Just did the Goober readathon and they don't require completion, but since Hercules is year long, yes. I want you to take those prompts and complete them. We're prompt thieves right now. It's all prompt thieves. Okay. You must complete it, but you take the whole year to complete it. You take the whole year to complete it. Yeah. There's so much going on in the Discord. Oh. Hi, so many new people. Cool. So, well, I mean, rereads count now for getting those points. So no. You're basically only stealing the prompts. But okay, yeah, if the prompt is to do a reread, that's fine. That's fine. If the prompt itself says to do a reread, then yes, it counts. That works. If the readathon is a 24-hour readathon, though, presumably you'd be done after that readathon. What? Wait. If the readathon is a 24-hour readathon, though. Does the readathon have prompts in it? You're just stealing the prompts. Ketchup-a-thon will be next month. What is ketchup-a-thon? Oh, catch up. I'm like, why is there ketchup on your books? Okay. Yeah. So if you use a tile-based readathon like Bookoplathon, you have to do all the prompts. I would say... Oh, you guys are making good questions for me. I might have to backtrack. Okay, hold on. Yes, they would be your double ups for 24-hour readathon and 24-hour readathon challenge that way. That would be, you would be doubling up each of those books within it, and that's fine. Yes. For something like Bookoplathon, That's tricky. I'm going to let you interpret it how you want to interpret that. I'm going to give you license. So if it's just you want to do a certain number of roles on Bookoplathon, or if you want to try to complete every prompt in Bookoplathon. You can interpret that your own way, however you want. Whatever way would make you mad if somebody did, don't do that way. Yeah, like Dewey's. And I know Dewey's ones, they usually have like a little bingo board and stuff. So you could just use the prompts from that bingo board, but you don't have to make it 24-hour. But you could, and then you could use those books to double up. She rolls the dice 5 times, then you would do those 5. Yeah. Participate in another one. All books read towards this reader can only be doubled up with one another challenge. What? Yes. Yes. They already count for the readathon once, and then you can double it to one other prompt in HRCYED. They do not have to be completed within the readathon time frame, because you're basically picking the prompts. So you still have all of HRCYED to do it, but you do not have to do it. That's why I'm like, probably steer away from the 24-hour ones and stuff, unless you want to do it fully doubled up like that, but you're trying to steal prompts. For the readathons that allow doubling, does that cross over with HRCYED doubling? Oh! Yes. If the readathon allows to double up or like do multi-prompts, yes, you can still do that on their rules and still count it for a double up in HRCYED. It would still be like you read it for the readathon and then you can still use it for one other prompt in HRCYED. That's fine. But you can double up within that readathon. Yes. Yeah. Timed readathon doesn't add much to HRCYED on its own. That's exactly what I mean. If we do a multiple part readathon like Magical Readathon, yes, only one term. You only have to do one term for that. Mm-hmm. I would say, heck yeah, you do. Heck yeah, you get extra points. No Bible-a-thons, no. Pretty sure there is. You guys are killing me. You're so funny. All of you are so funny. Just gonna make this really awful for you then. Okay. Oh, ooh, maybe I'll get some of that. I don't know. I'm hungry now. This is a problem, guys. Okay. Church. Okay, does the readathon make sense? I'm hoping readathon makes sense. All right, I miss HRCYED 1. This one's pretty simple. And especially for those who didn't get to participate in HRCYED 1, you can pick one of the prompts from HRCYED 1 and do it again. I don't care which one you do. Do it again. The bingo boards are still on the website. So we have the new one. This is the bingo board from last year. Doesn't matter what you choose. Okay. So for Magical Readathon, you have to do prompts based on the career path you're taking. For this challenge, would be good enough to just do the prompts for the careers. Yes, you just did the ones for the careers. A few times to get extra points for something that wasn't originally planned. Is it going to be added to the official list? I mean, they're kind of listed on the website. And basically your extra points are just going to be clicking on your, on the points tracker. You just clicking an extra prompt, anywhere you want, just to add the points. Yeah, so you do not have to do all the prompts for all the careers. Pick your career and do the prompts for that career. Yeah. Ah, huge fan of the 500-page book in a day one. Yeah. Can we double up with any of the updated prompts, like read the rainbow and double up with read the bigger rainbow? Yeah. Yep, you can double them up. There is a secret prompt. Well, yeah, and that's where you're adding your points to. So the points it's still in the points tracker. So I would say, like, yes, add an extra 5 points for doing it. Anytime there's, it's a bonus points, it's an extra 5 points. So you would go back to the tracker. And just even if, points calculator, the points calculator. So even if it wasn't an early arc, you're just going to add that anywhere so that it at least still calculates accurately for you. You can, if you really want, add a column, but it's going to mess up a lot of the stuff here. So that's just the easiest way I know how to do it, is just go here and add that. And there's your extra points. Okay. Back to here. All right, back to the purple prompts. Go back to the purple prompts. We're almost there. We're so close, guys. All right, any other questions for her kid one? I think that's pretty common. And then personal challenge. The last one is your personal challenge, because we all have reading challenges that you want to do. So secret prompt is read the Bible. No, it's not. All right. Personal challenge. It is to be a personal reading challenge. I saw some people asking about, like, could it just be, updating my reading journal? I'm going to say no, it's a reading challenge. So if it's you wanting to do read the Bible in a day, then yes, you could make that your personal challenge. If it's to read a certain number of books of a certain category, whatever you want to do. Read at least 40 manga. Beautiful. Done. That's your thing. It can literally be anything you want, as long as it's reading. Finish Discworld. That's a good one. 10 books by Stephen King. Nice. Okay. Well, good thing is he has a ton. He's a ton. Oh, man. Yes, if you try to read one nonfiction a month. Yes. And then you count it into your nonfiction prompt. There you go. Just to read your 2023 book box books. That was one of mine I thought to do, was my Fairy Loots. There you go. Yeah, read everything I've written. There you go. Top 10 book in your book theory. Is that all 10 or just top one? Top one. It's the top one. But for some people, they've either already read it or it's awful and they don't want to read it. You can choose within the top 10 from your birth year. Yeah. 12 book box books. 12 book box books. Book box books. Book box books. Oh, that's a tongue twister. Yep. Sure can. You're reading, as long as it's reading. But what if I started my personal challenge before her kid started? You can still continue it. That's fine. Mine is rereads, but I'm nervous about it because one of the reasons I rarely reread is, what if I was wrong 15 years ago? This book is actually terrible. That will count. And that's your workaround for the rereads, because that's in your personal challenge. That's fine. You can do that as much as you want. You just wouldn't be able to double up unless you earned the reread to double up. If that makes sense. Yeah, that's fine. Then your personal challenge is just reading those 5. That's how you would count it, is reading the 5. The 5 left over, that's still fine. Yeah. I would. That's going to be hard to keep up with, I think. You could do that. You could. Well, yeah. Okay. That's her kid, guys. Again, there's helpful links on the website. You have, this is the link to this video right now. You can have the spreadsheet. The printables are here. The announcement video to double check stuff. And there will be an FAQ. There is a document. I will be adding to this document everything we talked about in this one. And then there is a playlist of all things her kid related. Yes, it does. It does, in fact, count as reading. You can do that. I will be, now that I'm back, for surezies. I'm apparently going to go with Ian to one during Pride. I'll be at the Spicy Librarian on the 21st now. So I'll be there with Ian. Just a reading streak, like a reading every day would also count. Yes. Yeah. Either reread some of Realm of the Elderlings or finally read Lord of the Rings. There you go. Yep. Yup. All right. And then, of course, all my links are here. If you want to follow me on Instagram, on TikTok, on Blue Sky, and my Ko-fi shop. And actually, speaking of the Ko-fi shop, we'll just show everybody. In the shop now is the merch. So here is the bookmark. It has the main HRCYED 2 here. And all the prompts are here on it. We've got the different stickers. This is a circular sticker. It just looks like that because that's how it printed. HRCYED 2.0 sticker. We have the I Survived HRCYED 1 and then a winner if you won HRCYED 1. We have those stickers currently available. Okay? I'm getting to it, Nina. Okay? Okay. I think, is that everything else we need to cover on here? Okay. Finally, the secret prompts. So during HRCYED Season 2, I will be having random time-sensitive prompts. Okay? And I revealed the first one in the announcement video. 2 people guessed what it is. If you really, really want to, you could, but you're going to end it the day before. Like if you were starting it right now, your HRCYED 2.0 ends on the 6th then of June, on 6th of June. Okay. Secret prompt. So I will be having these time-sensitive ones. They are for extra bonus points. They can also be used in replacement for certain parts of prompts. So, example, back to the white prompts. If you're really scared of this 701 and you complete the time-sensitive prompt within its time, you may now replace it with one of these. So you could replace it with the 700. Okay? Okay? Does that make sense for everybody? So secret time-sensitive prompts may replace any book that you would need in any of these prompts. Okay? So you could put it as your standalone or in one of the years you don't want to read for, or an adaptation you don't want to do or something. You can replace it with a piece of it, okay? Yes, I will be announcing when a secret prompt is about to be dropped. I will announce it. I will give you time. I will give you a window of time to figure it out. And then I will just reveal it to everyone. And then you will have a specific amount of time. So, well, thank you, Andrea. Yes, it'll be just one single book. One single book. Yes, they work like the 5 indie books, but they are time sensitive. So, for the very first one, did you guys notice where I was in the announcement video? It's so stupid. I made the first one easy. So I filmed the entirety of the HRCYED announcement video outside. Yeah, I was outside. So it's an easy secret prompt just for kicking it off. You have, when HRCYED officially starts from July 7th to the end of the month of July 31st, you need to read an entire book outside. You got to read the whole thing outside, no going inside. Now, one caveat is to our friends on the Southern Hemisphere, and I recognize that it is probably cold outside. You just need to go outside of your home to read the book. Okay, but if you're in a summer place right now, you're reading it outside. So from July 7th to July 31st, you must read the entire book outside. This is why for you, Nina, you can go to like a coffee shop or something, and that's fine. Yes, listening to an audiobook absolutely counts. Yes, it can be in your car. Yes, it can. Just not in your house. You're going outside. Yes, if you are bedbound, absolutely. That is completely fair. Completely fair. So you must finish that book by the 31st, starting from the 7th. You can read it in a day. It doesn't matter. But you cannot read it like in your house. But if you have a medical reason you cannot leave your bed, I totally understand that. You can read by the window, and that is okay. We're little book creatures, and we need our vitamin D. How many of us are vitamin D deficient? Okay? Okay? Absolutely. But if you are able to go outside and read the book, you're going to go outside and read that book. What if you have agoraphobia? Read by the window. Like we said, read by the window. You can read it, again, you can read in your car. I know they put vitamin D in the milk. Shut up, Nina. There you go. There you go. You can hold on to it. Yes, so you can hold on to that as a replacement. You can hold on to it. So if by the end of the year and you're like scrambling to finish, you now have a backlog of they're going to basically work like how in HRCYED 1 I had the bonus quizzes that you could use. This is the new function, is completing the time sensitive ones. Okay? Nina's probably the only one not vitamin D deficient here. Yeah. Yep, finished the book by a pool. There you go. So yeah, you can hold on to it as your freebie. Yes, all secret challenges will be announced on this channel. They will be announced in the Discord, and I will try and keep them updated into like my Instagram and TikTok and stuff. Yes, the time-sensitive one can double up with another prompt. But it's basically, it doesn't have to be one of the prompts. So it can still count for something. So like, let's say it was for Jewish heritage, but you're like, I don't want to read that 700-page book. It can count as a double up for that. Yes, there will be an extra form. I will release that in the Discord and on my YouTube community. That's where all forms and stuff kind of go. So I will put that in. It's not live right now because you cannot do it yet. You cannot do it and this is where, like, even if you're starting HRCYED early, this is your time frame, July 7th through July 31st. Okay? Yep. Yes, that would be tripling. So no, you're not going to triple it unless you already earned the points to triple. I'm watching this outside right now. Beautiful. Okay. Well, that's your first time-sensitive prompt. Got it? Cool. That's your reveal. I hope you guys enjoy that. Yep, absolutely can be an audiobook. In the gym. So it's always pouring rain. No, absolutely. As long, it's basically just outside of your home, if you are able. If you are able. Okay? I totally recognize some people are not able. And that is okay. We're just trying to get a little bit more vitamin D in ya. All right? Cool. Cool, 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 cool. Yeah. Okay. Any other questions? We've almost reached 3 hours on this live stream alone. What? Oh, let's see. What's the number of entrants? We are up to 243. 243 entrants so far, and it's not even been live. Well, it's been live for 24 hours now, so that's pretty wild. Pretty wild. I will keep you guys updated in the Discord, and like I said, I will have timestamps on this live stream, so if you need to go back and refer to it, it's gonna take me a while. Bear with me, and I will be updating the FAQ document with your questions that came up during the stream, and anything that was put in the comments of the announcement video. If I didn't get to them here, they will be in that document. I will be doing a lot of research and putting things around. But thank you guys for joining me. We had almost 100 people watching me today. That was wild. And I hope you guys stick around for the future and all that jazz. I have all links in description. If you want to follow me on all the social medias, if you want to follow me on Ko-fi, you can subscribe on Ko-fi. Everybody who subscribes on Ko-fi gets my videos early. So yeah. Right? How many people did 1.0? Well, we don't know who finished it or stuff, who would, but we had like over 600 signups originally. I haven't checked that one in a hot second. So absolutely. Yeah, come join streams. They're crazy. I'll probably do more throughout the week. I'm going to take a brief lunch break, Asura, and then I will probably be back on for productivity sprints. So I just want this to be its own FAQ live stream. So I'm going to go grab some lunch, and then I will be back for those who want to just do productivity stuff. Okay? Sound good to you? I hope it does. All right, everybody go finish one, and I will see you in probably like an hour. All right, I'll see you I'm taking an hour lunch, all right? All right, I'm going to end this button now. Okay.